You're ready for a touchpad on your PS5 controller? You're gonna touch that pad. Skip it up and that up. So I know I'm in the minority when it comes to the Wii U gamepad, but I absolutely love that controller. I like the concept of the screen on it. It ended up being the rough draft for the Nintendo Switch, which is a phenomenal console, but beyond that, I thought the controller was really comfortable. I liked how you could actually play games on the actual Wii U gamepad, so if someone was watching TV, granted the range was limited. And I think Nintendo, minus using it to play games on the actual gamepad, I thought that was cool. They were trying to innovate like they did with the Wii remote for the Nintendo Wii. They thought that was going to be the evolution of the Wii U gamepad, like they had Nintendo Land where you could throw ninja stars with the gamepad and would go up on the TV. They were trying to do something innovative like with the Wii remote with the motion controls, and it just didn't work. Where I was like, just use it to stream the games from the actual Wii U console and have it so if you're playing a first-person shooter like Call of Duty, you could just switch guns. Like, that's all they needed to do. And I think they missed the point, and that, again, is part of the reason why the Wii U failed. No one knew what the hell to do with the Wii U gamepad, and I think people completely missed the point of it. Well, anyway, it seems that Sony might be. Just because they file a patent doesn't mean it's actually going to come to fruition. Companies file patents all the time, and we never see a product based around that patent. But Sony on October 16th, we just got privy to this patent now, but on October 16th, they filed a patent for a controller with a touch screen. And look, I know we've been down this road before with the Wii U, but I see a lot of potential with the PS5 having a touch screen on the controller. Well, anyway, this is what the patent has to say, and it's fairly interesting. A controller for interfacing wirelessly with a computing device is provided, including the following: a housing defined by a main body, a first extension extending from a first end of the main body, and a second extension extending from a second end of the main body. The first extension and the second extension for holding by a first hand and second hand of a user, respectively. A touch screen defined along the top surface of the main body between the first extension and the second extension. A first set of buttons disposed on the top surface of the main body proximate to the first extension and on the first side of the touchscreen, and a second set of buttons disposed on the top surface of the main body proximate to the second extension and on the second side of the touchscreen. So basically, instead of having the completely useless trackpad that's on the DualShock 4 controllers we have now, it sounds like they're going to put a touchscreen. And I think that's a hell of a lot more useful than this stupid trackpad on the DualShock 4 controllers. What does that mean? I know, like, sometimes if you want to type things when you're, like, maybe putting in your email in PlayStation 4 or whatever, I've used it for that. And I know games like Killzone Shadowfall used it when the system first came out because they were trying to show what you could do with the trackpad. But that thing has been completely useless. It's been a complete waste of time. And I could totally see a screen taking the place of that pointless trackpad and being much more practical. Say there's a new Killzone, say there's another first-person shooter, say any game, and you have all your menu items there, and if you want to just click to the double-barrel shotgun, boom, you click on it. I think that's brilliant. I think that's just so simple, and it's an easy interface, or just other menu options. If you're playing a Madden game, you can have your plays there. They kind of did that with the Dreamcast back in the day. And I really think there's many practical uses to having a small but capable touchscreen on a controller. I thought what they were going to do with the Dreamcast was they had the plays for football games on the Dreamcast little VMU with the screen. I thought that was great. I think they could have done more with the Wii U with its gamepad with the screen on there, and I think I see a lot of potential. And what's interesting is if you remember the Atari Jaguar and systems like the Intellivision, granted they didn't have an LCD screen, the tech wasn't there to do that, at least the Intellivision. It could have been done during the Jaguar days, but it would have been expensive. They had the overlays. So you put an overlay in, and every time you had a new game, you put an overlay in, and you could pick through all the different weapons, whatever the case may be, with an Intellivision. They did the same thing with the ColecoVision. You could put overlays in. And like I said, the Jaguar, and I remember playing Doom on the Jaguar, and that was cool because you could just go through the weapons. You'd put the overlay. I had the overlay for Doom on the Jaguar, and if you wanted to pick the shotgun, you could. You wanted to pick whatever other gun was there that you had, just press the button, the gun would pop up, and Doom Guy would have that gun. And it was very convenient. And that was very convenient. And honestly, having a touchscreen, obviously you're not going to have overlays in 2020 when the PS 5 comes out. But having, you know, the next generation of that, which would be a LCD touchscreen or OLED touchscreen, it just sounds brilliant to me, man. I think it sounds like a great idea. And because it's just a high-res touchscreen, you could change it to whatever the hell you want to. You want to, you know, whatever we need to pick, whether it be a sports game or a first-person shooter or a new Uncharted, you name it. You could just pick the weapons or pick the play for a Madden game or whatever you need to. So I think it's practical. I think it's smart. They'll have to figure out battery life, but hopefully in the next couple of years, I mean, the tech is already there, but I'm sure they can make an LCD or OLED screen even more efficient so it takes up less battery. So the battery life on this PS5 controller, if this actually happens and this patent does come to fruition, hopefully the battery life will be good. But I don't know. I just see a lot of promise and a lot of use to having a touchscreen on a controller. I've seen it with other systems where they've tried it in the past. And if Sony, who is a wildly successful company right now with the PlayStation 4, brings it to their next-gen system and brings it to the masses, I see it doing very well. Much better than the trackpad is doing on the PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 now. What the hell was the point of that thing? But this seems much cooler, and I hope it's more than a patent. This is Richard, Review Tech USA, signing out. Have a good one.
Hey, congratulations! If you made it to the end of the video, you should subscribe to Review Tech USA so you can hear me blabber on some more. Also, too, starting this month, I will be live streaming solely on Twitch. I'll have a link to my Twitch channel below in the description. And last but not least, make sure you click that like button. It helps out the show big time. See you guys in the next video.